Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If you're watching this live, it is 9 a.m. on the West Coast in California, and welcome to the Magic of Life. I am your host, Max Ryan, and it is great to be here. It's always great to be here, and I am excited. I'm excited for today because we're going to be talking about something that most of us are doing all the time. Are you someone that worries a lot about what's going to happen? What's not going to happen, how it's going to happen? Well, worrying is a vibration that can ruin everything.
Good morning, good evening,
so
good afternoon.
I just wanted to make sure. Oh, hold on a second. I hear myself. Hold on. I need to be quiet. Hold on. Okay. That's crazy. Obviously, my sound is working. Woohoo! I need to find the the cheers. Yay! The sound is working this week. I'm so excited. Yay. I guess whatever they say about Mercury retrograde is over or something. So I'm just here to welcome you. And if you're new to the show, you know it's a little bit fun, it's a little bit crazy, but we're also serious here. We're serious about attracting positive results in your life, about really helping you to live in the magic of life. When I say the magic of life, I mean the flow. You know, living in that feeling that you're on purpose, that you are attracting what you need, attracting what you want, and feeling like you are contributing to your life and contributing to the world. That is the magic of life to me. I actually wrote a few definitions of the magic of life, and I'll have to post those sometime soon. So welcome. I am glad you're here, and I'm really glad that that the sound is working, obviously. And the reason I know the sound is working is that I have from now on, it's going to be easier because I know Susan is here watching. Hello, Susan. It's going to be easier for us to do comments and all that stuff by watching my show on my blog, on my site. And so you can go to attractpositiveresults.com, and actually, if you are in the Google Plus site right now, I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to put it in the Google site, and you can go there. It's a little bit easier, I think, to do the comments. So let me just check back into the Google site and see what's going on. All right, here, I'm just going to put it in here, and you can go there. All right. So hopefully, let's see. Susan, I know you're having some troubles, and some people have been having troubles with comments during the show. And so I think it's going to be easier if you just go to that site. You can watch me and you can comment right below. Okay? And let me just look and see what's going on here. Maria says, is it a recording that we can watch anytime? Yes, it's a recording you can watch anytime. It'll always be up, and it'll be on my site, actually, and it will be here. So great. I love that. I wanted to make sure. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the Google site. Today it will be a little crazy because I wanted to test out, you know, having these comments here on my site too. So, all right. So I've got some really fun announcements, and I've got some cool things that my friends just helped me to come up with. You know, it is so important in this life that we depend on our friends, that we depend on the people that we love to help us through kind of times when we're worried about things and we can't figure it out. And sometimes we don't need to figure it out. We just need to just say, hey, I'm in this place, and then friends come to your side. So I'm so excited about some of these things that I'm going to share with you. But I'm feeling a little bit like I'd like to say a prayer. You know, prayer is the medium of miracles. And, you know, I have been a teacher and student of A Course in Miracles for over 30 years. And I believe in prayer. Prayer aligns your energy. Prayer gets your vibration in a place that it's receptive and it's focused. So let's say a prayer wherever you're at right now. So let's just close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Dear Mother, Father, God, divine source, universe, all that is, we come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love, a time of support and guidance for anyone here watching and listening. We ask that this time be dedicated to the highest vibration there is, which is love. We ask that in this time that we have together, we are more acutely aware of love's presence in our lives. We ask that we sense, feel, and see the evidence of this love throughout our life, in our daily experience, in our feelings, and in our interactions with others. And together we say thank you very much, and so it is. You know, prayer is just, I was going to say that blank, the SH word. It is, if you're new to me, I'm a little unconventional spiritual teacher. So, you know, let's just say this. Prayer is the freaking bomb. It's the bomb. Because if you really said that prayer with me right now, you could feel a shift, right? You could feel a little bit of a, feel a little calmer. And we're always going for a little shift. What are we going for? A little shift of crazy to peace, of overwhelm to calm, from fear to love. Okay, let me take a sip of my drink. It's great that you're here. Okay, so prayer is awesome. Now, let me just check back in that chat room, and which chat room I'm in, and I don't know. Let me just check in with that chat room. Susan says thank you. Okay, so we will be going back and forth between these rooms here, and I'll do my best right now. Okay. All right. I have a really funny story. I have a funny story because something happened to me. You know, I'm a teacher of the law of attraction. I'm a teacher of A Course in Miracles. And the other day, see this? This is my new iPhone 6. Can I get a little bit? Oh, hold on. Try to get this. Yay! Yay! Thank you. Yay! It just goes on and on and on. Okay. So this is my new iPhone 6. And it's actually a really new iPhone 6 because a couple of days ago, I saw a friend of mine. I knew she got the iPhone. And I was like, hey, how is your iPhone? And she turned it over and she showed me a smashed screen. Have you ever had a phone that just smashed? She was quite upset. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for you, you know? And she was a little upset about it. And I said, well, you know, I've got insurance, so it wouldn't happen to me. So if anything happens, I'm totally covered. So went along the day, came home, and guess what happened? I dropped my phone. Bam. I knew in that moment that I had attracted a smashed screen. I picked up the phone and it was smashed. I knew in that moment. That's how law of attraction works. Sometimes we have to be so careful because, well, there's a few things. I looked at that screen. I felt something. And I was like, oh, this is what happens. And I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. I was like, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me. This was the dialogue going in my head. That's not going to happen to me. I've dropped my phone a few times, and it's okay. That's not going to happen to me. I swear it's not going to happen to me. And I have insurance, so it's not going to happen to me. Well, I attracted exactly what I said I wasn't going to, what I didn't want. What I said wasn't going to happen. I attracted it. And so, as you see, it's not smashed anymore. It's all nice. And let me see. You can even, hold on a second. Hold on, I want to show you something. You can, oh, darn it. How do I do that? Oh, you can even see that I have the lovely Marie Osmond on my phone. It's all because yesterday I took care of it. I went to the store and I got done. It's a longer story. But my point being is that be careful what you look at. Be careful what you bring into your vibration, and be careful what you're resisting, because what you resist persists. I'm going to talk about that when we talk about worrying. Okay? So just be careful. You know, that was a bad thing. Good things can happen just the same. So you can see somebody that went to Italy, and you were like, wow, I really want to go to Italy. That sounds great. So your vibration is going to be more of a vibrational match to going to Italy. When you see someone, you talk to them about it, you feel about it, all those things, you will attract it. You will start to attract it. That's the beginning of the manifestation process. Okay? All right. So let me just check in. We're going to do our card reading. I have a really cool announcement about that. Let's see here. How is that going? Just look. Okay. Looks like everyone's fine. Everyone seems to be okay. Oh, Penny, thank you for that question. Thank you very much for that question. I'm going to come to that in a second. All right. So here's the deal. We are going to do our card that we always do. Here we go. I'm going to pull a card from my Say Yes If Oracle card deck to see what Spirit has to tell us today. Okay? All right. Oh my God. Say yes if today you will defend less and state the truth more. Oh my goodness. This is about defending, pushing away. When you resist, persist. When you defend something, when you're like, oh, I have to be right and I have to defend, you create the thing you defend against when you're pushing against. Now, here's the difference. You can say something that you don't want, and you can just say, or you can just state the truth. You can say, you know what? This is something I don't want. This doesn't feel right. I don't like that. And you just state the truth. That doesn't feel right. That's not a match for me. But instead go, I don't want that in my life. That's not good for me. And and you're defending and defending and defending. You're going to create exactly what you defend against. That's exactly what happened on some level with my iPhone. I, in a way, was defending. That's not going to happen to me. And it happened. So, but instead, if I was just to say, you know, fine, yeah, that's interesting. I don't want to have that to happen. And then move on. It probably wouldn't have happened to me. Probably wouldn't have happened. So say yes if today you will defend less and state the truth more. All right? I'm just letting you know we're going to go a little bit over because of these couple of announcements that I have. I see that it's 13 minutes after. So as you know, if you've been watching, I always read a card from my deck, right? As your inspiration for the day or something to think about. So now you're going to think about today what you're defending against. Instead of defending, just state the truth. So, but I have a great announcement today. Today, and Penny even said this, Penny says, I love your Magic of Life show, Max. Will you be offering intuitive readings on your show? Well, thank you, Penny, for asking. Starting next week, each week, at the beginning of the show, instead of having a card reading, I am going to give a live reading to one of you. Okay? So each week, there'll be short readings right at the beginning of the show, and then I will go into the content for the show. So if you would like to have a live reading with me and get on the list, because I'm sure that people will want to be on. Now, here's the deal. It's going to be on Google+, so you're going to need a Google+ account. You don't have to show your face, but you're going to need a Google+ account so you can come on the show. I can do your reading for you and help you in any area you want. We can do a general reading about what Spirit has to tell you, or you can ask me a specific thing. I would love that. It'll be the first 10 minutes of the show, and we'll spend a few minutes with you, and then we'll move on into the content of the show. So if you are interested in being one of the people that are here for me to give a reading, I would love it. I love doing readings. It's one of my favorite things to do, and a lot of people don't know that. So I'd like you to do this. I'd like you to go to Attract Positive Results and go to the contact page, and then I want you to say, I would like to be one of your guests for a reading. Okay, and then I will get back to you and we will schedule which day. It's always going to be at this time, excuse me, on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Pacific time. Okay, wherever that happens to be for you. All right, so please do that. I'm excited about that. All right, so now I'll look one more time into this. Penny says, I've been to Italy. Let's attract more of that. Yes, actually, we are attracting more of that because I'm working on a whole retreat in Italy. More about that's coming. I'll look at my other website and see if anyone's commented in there. I'll just look real quick. Okay. All right. Okay. So today, I want to ask you, are you worrying too much? Are you worrying about things? Are you worrying about what's going to happen in the future, or what might not happen in the future, or how it's going to happen in the future? It's something that most of us are dealing with all the time. In fact, I deal with it too. I mean, I've been doing this work for many years, and I still worry. I worry, and I get a little bit crazy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Most of the time I don't. I mean, but I have tools, which I'm going to share with you. But, you know, this actually comes from my book. My book, Say Yes If, 30 Days of Positive Questions to Transform Your Life. I wrote day 19 is Worry, Worry. So I'm going to read a little bit of this to you because I think it's really, I know it is really important to get a handle. Oopsie, sorry, my screen just went a little crazy. To get a handle on worrying. It's really important. So let me just read this to you, okay? How much focus and energy are you putting into worrying about things? This is a question that we all need to ask ourselves. We do. You've got to ask yourself, because most of the time we're worrying and we're not even realizing we're worrying. It's so unconscious. For we know that what we focus on is what we create more of in our lives. If we are worrying constantly about finances, that's probably number one. Say yes if you worry about finances. Yes, I can too. Although I've come a long way. Finances, relationships, or just about anything, all we're doing, listen to this, all we're doing is giving the negative side of any issue the power. Okay? That's what we're doing when we're worrying. We're giving, everything has two sides, a positive side and a negative side. When we're worrying, we're giving all the power to the negative side of that issue. As the law of attraction teaches us, we attract into our lives more of what we are focusing on. If you are worrying about debt, you're focusing on debt. If you are worrying about a relationship being in danger, you are focusing on a relationship being in danger. If you are worrying about screwing up at that meeting, you're focusing on screwing up. It's just like those times when negative things happen in your life and you realize that you could, this is exactly what I was just talking about with the iPhone. It's just about those times when something negative happens in your life and you realize that you had either been thinking or worrying about that exact same thing. It's exactly what I was talking about. You know, it's like, you know, I want you to remember this phrase. I want you really, really, really to remember this phrase. I say it all the time, and people that I work with, I'm constantly asking them this because it comes back to this a lot. I want you to remember it. And I don't want you to only remember it. I want you to burn it in your brain. What do I want you? Burn it in your brain. Repeat after me if you're watching. What I resist persists. Again, what I resist persists. One more time. What I resist persists. Now, you know, I am a teacher of A Course in Miracles, like I said. And this is one of the greatest spiritual teachings of all. And in the Course in Miracles, he says it like this. He says, we create what we defend against. We create what we defend against. Meaning that if I keep worrying about debt, I'm going to create debt. If I keep worrying about a relationship that's going down the wrong track, and I'm worrying about it, and I'm like, relationship down the wrong track, you're going to create more of that relationship down the wrong track, or whatever it is. So, you get the idea. Worrying is focusing on this negative side, and the law of attraction, or God, or source, or whatever you want to call it, is just going, oh, you're creating what you're looking at, so let me give you more of what you're looking at. Let me give you more of what you're looking at. And that's it. I mean, end of story, period. You're going to create exactly what you're worrying about. I heard once that, this is later on, actually, this is later on in the chapter, but that worrying is like praying for what you don't want. Because worrying is a focus. I mean, worrying, just like prayer is a focus. It's like you are going, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. When you pray, you go, please allow me to find the resources. Please bring me the resources so that I can whatever. You are focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. So when you worry, you are praying for what you don't want. Take a deep breath right now. Now, I want you to think about this. What is something in your life that you're worrying about? Could be a relationship, could be money, could be it could be a million different things. It doesn't matter. But what is something that because I know you're worrying. We all do on some level. It is in the Course in Miracles, it would say the ego loves. The ego itself, the part of us that thinks without love, that's what the ego is. The part of us that thinks without love, that part of ourselves worries. And it loves to worry because it keeps you stuck. It makes you feel powerless. You are powerless. When you worry, you're powerless. When you worry, you're what? You're powerless. Isn't that right? If you're thinking about something you're worrying about right now, you feel powerless. I think that that's true. I mean, I don't think. For me, it's true. People that I work with, when I have kind of twisted their worrying around and said, is worrying giving you any power? Is worrying helping you to move forward? And they always say no. It always helps them to stay stuck, to stay feeling stuck. You're never stuck. But feeling stuck, feeling like I have no options, feeling like all of that stuff. And I'm going to give you 3 really powerful tools to kind of combat worrying in just a second. So think about that thing that you're worrying about, and feel the feelings. They're not good. I'm sure they're not good. If you're having feelings of not good, of dread, of fear, of all those things around money, this is the key to changing your relationship with money. You've got to change your vibration around it. You can't just stay there. I mean, you can. And we're doing it all the time, and most of us are doing it all the time, and we're not even knowing it. So that worry about I'm not good enough, or you're going to attract not being good enough. Everything in your life is going to show you you're not good enough. Something's wrong with you. You won't attract someone to go out with. You won't attract the right friends. You won't, because you have an underlying belief that you're worrying that you're not good enough. Okay. And whatever it happens to be for you, I want you to feel those feelings. They're not good. They're not good. Now, we're not here to pour pink paint over things and say, well, I'm just not going to look at that anymore. That's not so productive. It's not so productive. But you've got to be able to see it. Some issues, like self-esteem, like I just said, I'm not good enough or whatever, there does need to be a little bit of processing with that. There does need to be, there's no black and white in spirituality. But, if you are a Course in Miracles students like I am, you know that, there is a psychological reason for everything. So the ego involved, it needs to be looked at, and you need to heal your relationship with yourself, because you have a broken relationship with yourself. And you can't just pretend like, well, I'm all fine now. And then all this stuff that's underneath here that feels bad, it's going to pop up until you heal that thing, okay? But many times, you know, if you're worrying about debt, if you're worrying about other things, you can change your vibration pretty quickly about that. You can change your vibration pretty quickly, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I have 3 things that really help you to do that. So let me just look in the comments again and see what's going on. There's more comments here. Okay. Sorry. New system. If there's any comments going on here. 5 comments. Oh my goodness. Judy. Oh, Judy. Okay, great. Thanks. Watch the replay of the beginning. Oops. Okay. Thank you, Judy. Hannah, I'm happy to have found the comment area. I'm so glad, Hannah. I'm so glad you're here from Israel. Go Israel. I love it. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So it's sort of working. Yes. Okay. So let's get to this. I have written out 3 different things to help you around worry. Say yes if you like that. 3 practical things that will help you around worry. So this is this is the first thing. Okay. So you have those bad feelings about that thing that you're talking about right now. Okay. That could be finances or whatever it is. I want you, number 1, I want you to think about the exact opposite happening of what you're worrying about. For example, let's take debt. It's so easy, or lack of money, okay? So you're worrying, I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. And then the debt collector is going to come, or somebody's going to turn off my, you know, whatever it is. It depends on where you're at financially. And, you know, everything is relative. You could be like, I'm fretting about money and you're only getting 100,000 this year instead of 150,000. So it's all relative. Or you could be like, I've got $80 in the bank. You know, it's all relative. And it doesn't mean, the number doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's about the vibration that you're sending. So I want you to think about exactly the opposite of not having the money. Because you're worrying about, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to send my kids to the school because I don't have that money. I'm not going to be able to do this one thing. I won't be able to take a vacation. I won't be able to whatever. You are focusing on what you don't want, what you resist, persist, and you create what you defend against. So I want you to write down a list of the opposite things, okay? This is kind of acting. You act as if. You write down, I have enough money to send the kids to school. I am more than abundant to go to Italy, and start to go on the trip to Italy in your mind. Start to say, and then we go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then we have pizza, and then we go to Tuscany. You know, start to really do the opposite and write it down. Writing down is so powerful. When you use your hand and you actually write the words down, it's really powerful. What is it? It's really powerful. And I'm telling you, if you start to do that, you will start to change your vibration, because what's happening, worrying is a negative vibration. And so you want to change it to a positive vibration. Just write them down. Now, this is important in this one example, or the exercise, is that you don't have to be like, I've got to be positive about it all the time. Just take a focused amount of time. I was just talking to my friends about this. Focused amount of time, you know, there is no time. There's no time. So if you sit down and you really write it out, you will change your vibration around that thing. You don't have to keep going over and over, but you will start to look at it differently. You'll start to have a different vibration around it. And when you do that, the outcome is definitely going more towards what feels good and feels right, and that supports you all the way. Okay, so that's number 1. Think about the exact opposite thing that you're worrying about and write it down. Number 2, you know, the things about worrying is that we're usually always in the past worrying about what I did and how I didn't get enough education because when I was a kid, I decided to be instead of going to school. And so you're living the past, which means you're reflecting like, I thought I would have done this, regret. Or your most worrying is about the future. So you're like, oh, in the future, it's going to happen like this. In 2 weeks, if I don't get that money, this is going to happen. If I don't do this, this is going to happen. La, 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 la. Got it? Here's the key. Be now. In this moment, you are fine. In this moment, you're safe. In this moment, everything is okay. Okay? You are creating your future in this moment. So if you can be more peaceful now, if you can allow yourself to be more peaceful in this moment, your future will take care of itself. So, I don't know if you meditate, you run, you garden, anything that takes you out of living in the future or the past and brings you back into this moment right now, do it. Whatever that happens to be. Even just reminding yourself that, oh my goodness, if I'm doing this and knowing that this is a spiritual truth, one of the biggest spiritual truths there is, that you are creating in this moment. You're not creating in the future. You're not creating in the past. Well, you did. You created it in the past, and that's what you're experiencing now. I guarantee you, if you are worrying now, you were worrying in the past. You get it? You're worrying in the past. So change it. Change it. Do whatever you can. Find a meditation routine. This is self-care. You've got to take care of yourself. Minding your vibration by saying, I need to just be in this present moment. I just need to be in this present moment. And trust. You know, I say this quite a bit, is that, you know, we walk forward in faith. We walk forward in faith, trusting that everything is working out for your highest good, because it is. Unless you get in there with worrying and craziness and blah. It's a practice. It's a muscle. I've been working out. So you need to practice your spiritual muscle, your mental muscle, to say, oh, I need to be peaceful now. I need to be joyful now. I need to be loving now. When do you have to do it? Now. Okay? So the first one is think about something you're worrying about and the exact opposite of it happening, and write it down. Number two is to meditate or to be in the present moment, whichever way that happens to you. And number three is a really great phrase. Say this to yourself. Even if it's a positive situation or a negative situation about your finances or whatever, ask yourself this, write this down. It's a great question. How can it get any better than this? It's a great question. Ask yourself that question. How can it get any better than this? If you ask yourself that, you will start to sort of do what number one is about. You'll start to go, well, I could get a windfall of $100,000. I could get approached by a big publisher to publish your book. I could walk down the street and some really awesome dude asked me out on a date. You see how saying, how can it get any better than this, can start to raise your vibration. Once you raise your vibration, you think of different scenarios that will help you. Then you will start to create those scenarios. They usually never are. They usually are never exactly what you're going to think of, but you're opening up the gates to attract those opportunities for those things to happen to you. Okay? So what's great about saying, how can it get any better than this, is you can say it when you're doing something really well. Even when you're not worrying, you can be like, I'm having a great time with my friends. I'm having this is going really well. My business is going well. How can it get any better than this? Well, there's no limit on joy. There's no limit on love. That's our ego going, oh, well, I'm only deserving this much, only deserving this much abundance or whatever. When you're in a good place, you could even ask that. And you will keep creating more joy, more abundance, more love, more peace, all of that. Okay, so let me go through these three again. These three exercises to help you deal with worrying. The first one is think about the exact opposite of what you're worrying about and write it down. Number two is to be in the present moment, to meditate, to run, whatever works for you, to let go of the past, that's back there, and let go of the future. And number three is to say, how can it get any better than this? All right. So I hope that that all helped you today. Let me just check in. I know we went over, but I'm okay with that. Let me see if there's any more comments. I'll refresh here, see if there's any more comments before we go. And I'm going to remind you again about if you would like an intuitive reading. Let's see. Hannah's there. Anyone else? Okay. That looks good. Okay. Let's see any other ones. Okay. I'm gonna look back in the Google one real quick. Judy says, "I want more of that Italy too." And Penny says, "How can it get any better than this? Anything can happen. Think big." I love it. I love it. Those are my buddies, Penny and Judy, and most of you probably know Penny and Judy. And so I'm really excited to announce that later on today at 12 o'clock my time, yeah, let me just look again. I want to make sure. I think that's the right time. Yeah, at 12 o'clock my time, Pacific time, I'm going to be on Judy's Hangout show. I'm so excited about that. Please go onto Facebook or onto Change Your Vibes, Change Your Life and watch me and Penny and Judy today, because we're going to have a great time. So excited about that. All right, before I go, remember, every week I'm going to do a reading with someone. Please send me a contact on my contact page at Attract Positive Results. Send me a message. Say, I would like to be one of the people that you're going to read. We're going to do a short reading every week at the beginning. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And remember, I pray that love will guide you, and unthinkably good things can and do happen. If you need anything at all, please come to attractpositiveresults.com, and I'll do whatever I can to help you. And if I can't help you, I will find someone to help you. All right? Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.